So Vera, an interesting night. I think that was probably one of the most interesting and hectic games that I've seen here, and that's just from a supporter's point of view, so I can't imagine how you were feeling. How are you reflecting on the night?
I wasn't, no, for me it was not that I was blown away about the excitement of the game. What really got to my heart was the way that the players, with all the changes that we made, played in the structure. We had the same playing style, we kept the same playing style. Everybody wanted to have control over the game, even though we were not capable always to do that. And I think that is the best part of it, that every single player was playing their task and was not stepping out of themselves and to individually trying to make something happen. But in the same time, at halftime, the first sentence that I said, like, guys, if you have fear of failure, you will not succeed. You must have the guts to fail to succeed. And that was, for example, to Claire, who was always turning backwards, said you have to open, you have to trust yourself. You are capable to open the ball, go with it, and if it's closed down, then you just go back, then you go back. But first, have the guts to open and to play the game, instead of that you're just on the pitch to receive the ball and pass it back. And I think the way that she responds is fantastic. We knew already how she could battle. Her headers, that's part of the reason that we brought her in, because of those two things, and the way that she stepped up now in the coaching, that she felt the trust to just do it, and the way that she did it, those moments are really touching.
And do you think that was the issue in the first half, that there was a bit of a fear of failing from the team? Because I think there was a very obvious difference between the first and the second half, and the changes that came in, and even the players who stayed on, Abby Larkin and Claire both stayed on, and you could really see the two of them lift their game in that second half.
Yeah, to Abby, I said latterly, don't listen to all those people with all good reasons, and they want good for you, but everybody's talking to you, trying to do what others say. Her quality is to play the game with a feeling to solve situations and to do it in a way that nobody else can. And she's very young, so she wants to listen to everybody, but I said just forget everything and you are going to play your own game now the second half. And I give you the complete freedom to play and to solve the situation how you feel that you need to do it. And the response is so nice to see then, yeah.
And just before Amber scored her goal, not the penalty, the second one, you were shouting some instructions at her from the sideline. Do you remember what you were saying to her?
Yeah, that she had to go length, yeah, that she had to take off, because that's her strength, yeah.
Is that why she got the big thumbs up afterwards when she was running away, wheeling, scoring her goal?
Yeah, and we had a few conversations about, and that with all the players, but with her today we had, this is your chance. This is your chance. Don't hide yourself or put in a corner and have the fear of not doing well. Don't start to look at yourself. Don't start to get out of yourself and look at which ball you touched well or not well. But play your task, play the game, and in that we went through all the tasks. So that is why when we had contact, and that was really nice.
And if there was one thing you took away from tonight's game beyond, say, looking at individual players and something maybe you want the team to implement a little bit more when you get them back to training on Monday, what sort of things will you be looking at?
If you go to the technical part, in the first half our sitters were too high, and that was the reason why we couldn't switch easily. And we are a team that have to be able to switch play, because we do not have the strength, the force to play like Zambia, for example. They play all length game, and we need to play a different game. And in the first half we let them force us playing the same kind of game, because our sitters, with all good intentions, they were trying to press, but when we were attacking we needed some space backwards. So the sitters in the second half have listened well, and you could see that because of that we could switch play again.
And you've talked a lot about how important it is for the players to have a couple of rest days. They now have those rest days. Is it rest days for you as well, or are you going to be hard at work analysing everything with your team?
Well, we don't leave the stadium tonight before we've discussed everything. Then in the weekend we need to see video again, we need to see the whole game again, and then what we have put us as target is that decisions that we are going to make, that they have to be honest, clear, and that we will explain everything to the players.
Great stuff. Thanks, Vera. Amber Barrett, hero of the night once again. How are you feeling?
Yeah, brilliant, to be honest with you, Kathleen. Been a very difficult few months for me, but I think anytime you come to Tallaght with the Irish crowd behind you, playing a really, really top African team, I have to say Zambia were really, really excellent. But also getting a result, knowing that we have so many girls at different levels of pre-season, is a really it's a really big compliment to us, and it was great to be a part of it.
Yeah, it was interesting because obviously both of the starting 11s, either side of the first half and the second half, you could see that they're pretty much different teams apart from one or two players, and players who wouldn't traditionally maybe all play together because we kind of have a fairly settled starting 11 with one or two players that come in and out. What was that experience like coming into it? Because it's not maybe the systems and the setup that you're normally used to.
Yeah, of course, but it gives everybody that wee bit of an extra challenge. And yeah, as you said, not everybody was used to playing with each other. Like Erin made her debut tonight. Like I've never played with Erin, but then you have between Erin, myself, and Grant, you have 3 Donegalgers in the same team. It doesn't take long to develop a connection in that regard. But in general, those are little tasks. That Vera has said to us. She said that she was going to give people the opportunity to play. And I think then you just have to build those relationships really quick, because you can't say, oh well, I wasn't used to playing with her, that's why the game wasn't so good. You just have to get on with it. And I think the way this team is, we have a really, really tight knit group. So as much as we're not used to playing with each other, you do develop relationships and training and everything. So I think definitely in the second half more so, I think they came through.
I was talking to Kira earlier, and she was talking about the Donegal connection between the two of you for that goal. I mean, I don't know how she saw you coming in for the header down, but it was pretty perfect, and then the goal was absolutely sublime. Is that something you were practicing in training, or did it just come to you in the moment?
No, it's definitely not something that I was practicing, but Granty saying that she meant this, that's a lie. She probably didn't even know where it came off. But no, she said it to me. She goes, I seen you out the corner of my eye, and that's what I mean. I talk about, we've not played that much together, but you just develop those connections with players, and yeah, it was great. To be honest with you, without the header down, I'd never been able to get the finish, because she cushioned it that well that I was able to just take a first time finish. And yeah, of course, when that type of goal goes in, it's great. So look, it put a wee bit of cushion between us and Zambia, and it's probably what we needed at that time to get our breath and get settled again. And of course they came back at us again, but yeah, of course, anytime you score for your country is an unbelievable thing.
And you did it twice as well, because you got the penalty as well. And I think you're right in what you're saying there, in the sense that it was great to get the penalty because it was like a settler, but I think proving that we could get that score from play as well was really important. Are you practicing penalties? Are you going to be the one stepping up during the World Cup, presuming that tonight booked your ticket on the playing? So I'm pretty sure that's what everyone is saying at the moment.
Well, no, because the last penalty I took, I missed in the league for Turbina. So I think that when the penalty went in, straight away in my head I was like, I really want to take it. And I think because Katie wasn't playing, it would probably have been Megan Connolly next, and me and Megan just had a wee look to each other, and Megan gave me the nod, and I've already said it, but I have to really say thanks to Megan for that, because just for me to get that goal again, get a little bit of confidence into my play again, was something I really, really needed. And yeah, of course, anytime you score, of course the pressure comes that you have to when you take the penalty, but as soon as I put the ball down, I really backed myself. But as you said, going then and scoring from a set piece is always a good thing, and it wasn't Louise Quinn, it was my best friend Claire Reardon, so that was another special moment for me as well.
Yeah, it was great for Claire to get her first international goal on the night. I mean, she nearly had a couple of those headers. She was in the box a couple of times. You've talked to us already about the year you've had and how it's been difficult, and you were talking there about getting your confidence back, and you probably were, because you hadn't played as much, probably one of the players that a lot of people were like, what's the situation, how's she going to play? And I think you came out tonight and played absolutely sensationally well. In your head, how are you approaching all that? Because knowing that there's a question mark, but then also being able to come out and say, well, hey guys, look what I can do.
To be honest with you, I just think I always back myself in these types of situations. It's not easy. I definitely think that I've felt a pressure here the last 2 weeks that I've honestly never ever felt in my life, the way it's been lingering on. I think that I'm not the only one in that regard. I think there's so many other players, they feel the pressure of what's going on, and 23 players get to represent Ireland in the World Cup. 23 players get to go, and you look at a squad we currently have, I think is it 29, 30, and we have a couple of players still to come in. Everybody wants to be in that 23, so the pressure is so real. But at the end of the day, you just have to do your job. Take it easy, do the simple things, as they say, as best you can, and at the end of the day you just hope that you get to know. But look, I think a lot of players put themselves in a very good shop window tonight, so Vera's going to have a busy few days ahead of her, and I wouldn't like to be her.
I think everyone in the country wouldn't like to be Vera this week, and have to explain that celebration a little bit, because you're a good one for a different celebration. Nearly every time you score a goal, you try to pull something different out of the bag. What was behind tonight's one?
Well, the second one, the roly-polies, only to wind my mother up, because I'd done it before in a school game, and she said that after I'd done it, by the time I'd got up, the other team had scored 5 goals. So that's actually the reason I do that one. But the other one's a new one. I think it was a player from Mönchengladbach, a French guy called Thuram had it, and it basically means that like your strength comes from your mind. And I think that's something I definitely have really needed to test the last 6 to 8 months. Like, it's been really difficult, but like, yeah, look, I don't know what celebration I'm going to do next, to be honest with you. I changed my mind like the wind.
Well, hopefully you're doing lots of them over in Australia and we're all enjoying them. Amber, thank you so much.
Thanks very much, Kathleen.
Thank you.
Thank you.